Hello, my friend. Welcome back to the channel. And this is where we study the life of a man after God's own heart, a man called Daniel. Daniel showed unwavering faith in God, even when faced with opposition from powerful rulers such as King Darius. Daniel's story teaches us that when we put our faith in God, He will be with us no matter what we go through. We are going to see how his steadfastness in faith led to divine intervention in his life. In the previous episode, we saw how Daniel was thrown into the lion's den for praying 3 times a day towards Jerusalem. And the king gave an order that no one should pray for Daniel for 6 days until the time of the evening sacrifice. So, for 6 days, no one prayed for Daniel. But then, at evening time, as soon as the daily sacrifice was offered, everyone ran to the king and said, "Mr. King, come quickly and help. Our God, whom you have not acknowledged, has given the lions power to tear the king's beloved Daniel to pieces." Then the king was greatly distressed. He fasted, prayed, and made an entry in the book of the living, which was kept in the temple of the gods of gold, saying, "You alone know what this Daniel's God is, whether he will save him or not." Then he went out with much effort and came to the den. He stood by the den and said, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has the God whom you serve been able to deliver you from the lions?" A voice came from inside the den. "The God whom I worship is able to deliver me from the lions." Then the king commanded them to open the den. And he said, "Daniel, servant of the living God, your God has delivered you from the power of the lions. You have obeyed the laws of my kingdom and have not bowed down to my image of gold. Therefore, I now decree that the people of every nation, tribe, and language who are in my kingdom shall fear your God." So he had Daniel brought up, and no bones were found broken in him. The king gave orders to have Daniel in the temple, and he honored the God of Israel. So Daniel's God protected him and preserved his life because Daniel trusted in him. So now Daniel's story teaches us some great lessons. First, his steadfastness in faith led to divine intervention in his life. In Daniel chapter 6, verse 10, it says, "But Daniel decided that he would continue praying and seeking God just as he had done previously." This means that no matter what the circumstances are, if we remain faithful to God, He will listen to us. Like how Daniel continued to pray towards Jerusalem despite the order from the king, and God heard his prayer and saved him. Similarly, no matter what problems we may encounter, we must continue to pray and seek God, because He is always ready to hear our prayers and help us in our troubles. Secondly, his obedience to God resulted in protection from harm. As mentioned earlier, Daniel's unwavering commitment to praying 3 times a day led him to be thrown into the lion's den. However, instead of succumbing to fear or despair, he remained steadfast in his faith. And in Daniel 6:23, it says, "My God has sent His angel and shut the mouths of the lions. My God has delivered me from my troubles." Here, Daniel's faithfulness in obeying God's word resulted in him being protected from the lions, demonstrating that obedience to God's commands can lead to safety and well-being. Finally, Daniel's story illustrates that having faith in God can bring about significant personal change. As a result of Daniel's faithfulness, not only did he gain favor with God, but he also influenced King Darius to acknowledge and honor his God. In Daniel chapter 6, verse 26, His Majesty the King issued a decree that it should be known throughout all his kingdom that in every province, city, or district from that time on, people were to tremble and fear before the God of Daniel, for He is the living God and He remains active. Therefore, because of Daniel's unwavering faith in God, the king and all the people in his kingdom began to respect and fear the God of Israel. So, my friend, let us learn from the life of Daniel and never compromise our faith in God, no matter what the circumstances are. Let us remember that God is always with us and will help us if we trust in Him and obey His word. So keep trusting in God and never give up. And I hope you liked this episode. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe now and share this video with your friends and family. Also, let us know your thoughts in the comments section. We will meet again in the next episode with another great story from the life of Daniel. Until then, take care and God bless you.